A courtroom is a place where justice is sought, where the scales are balanced, and where the truth is supposed to prevail. It is a setting of solemnity and order, presided over by judges and governed by laws.
Or defendants serve a term of life without parole. As to count 4.
But what happens when the unexpected, the bizarre, or the downright shocking occurs within these hallowed walls? Starting with a case of Jalil Smith Riley. In a courtroom in Cincinnati, Ohio, the sentencing of 23-year-old Jalil Smith Riley unfolded, leaving an indelible mark on all present. Nearly 3 years earlier, 20-year-old Portia Brooks and her boyfriend Aaron Martin were ambushed in their car by Smith Riley and 2 accomplices with the intent to rob them. Security footage captured the harrowing moments as the group approached the vehicle. Smith Riley demanded Martin exit the car. When Martin revealed he had no cash, Smith Riley shot him in the head, causing irreversible brain damage. Martin was left bleeding profusely, his life forever altered. Smith Riley then turned his attention to Brooks, leaning into the car and shooting her as well. Brooks succumbed to her injuries 3 days later, despite medical efforts to save her. A thorough police investigation led to the arrest of Smith Riley, who faced charges for both shootings. To avoid the death penalty, he pled guilty to aggravated murder and attempted murder, accepting the possibility of a sentence ranging from 23 years to life without parole.
Nearly 3 years earlier, 20-year-old Portia Brooks was in her car with boyfriend Aaron Martin when Smith Riley and 2 men approached, looking to rob them. You can see the group on the security footage as they near the vehicle. Smith Riley ordered Martin out of the car, and when he didn't have any cash, he shot him in the head, causing permanent brain damage.
There was a guy outside of the car who looked like he was bleeding from multiple spots.
Smith Riley then leaned into the car and fired at Brooks.
There's a lady in it, and she's bleeding.
She died 3 days later.
During the sentencing hearing, the court allowed the victims' families to address both the judge and Smith Riley. Aaron Martin, still grappling with his injuries, was present in the gallery. Portia Brooks' family spoke passionately about the profound impact of the crime on their lives. Portia's mother expressed her devastation, saying, "He killed me mentally, emotionally. He killed my identity as a mother of 3, as a family of 4. This is what I have left because of his greed, his selfishness, his complete disregard of and disrespect of others in life." Holding a memento of her daughter, she continued, "I talk to her, I kiss her, I hold her, but as you can see, I get nothing back except the reality that she is gone." Portia's younger sister also spoke, emphasizing the need for a sentence without the possibility of parole. The emotional pleas underscored the family's desire for justice and closure. Smith Riley then had his chance to address the court, hoping to show remorse and convince the judge of his worthiness for leniency. His attorney argued, "This is somebody that feels genuine remorse. This is somebody that thinks about this every day. He knows the harm and the impact of what he did."
He killed me mentally, emotionally. He killed my identity as a mother of 3, as a family of 4. This is what I have left because of his greed, his selfishness, his complete disregard of and disrespect of others and life. This is what I have left. I talk to her, I kiss her, I hold her. But as you can see, I get nothing back except the reality that she is gone. He wants parole. Well, I want my sister. Let's trade. I have to deal with life without Portia, so he should deal with life without parole.
Sorry. Go back and win. I'm so sorry. This is what I come over.
This is somebody that feels genuine remorse. This is somebody that thinks about this every day, and he knows that he can't go back in time and undo what he did.
Or defendants serve a term of life without parole. As to count 4. The offense of attempted murder. Count 4.
Ultimately, Judge Charles Kubicki delivered the final verdict, stating unequivocally that the gravity of Smith Riley's actions warranted the harshest penalty. Smith Riley was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, ensuring he would never be free to harm anyone again. Next, we have a case of T.J. Lane. T.J. Lane, an American murderer, etched his name into the annals of infamous crimes with the horrific events at Chardon High School in Ohio on February 27, 2012. On that day, the Ohio Police Department responded to frantic calls from teachers and students reporting an active shooter on campus. According to police reports, Lane entered the school, proceeded to the cafeteria, and began his deadly assault. Armed and merciless, Lane opened fire, killing 3 students and severely injuring 3 others. The physical toll was devastating, but the emotional and psychological scars left on the Chardon High School community were immeasurable. Lane's actions sent shockwaves through the community, resulting in his swift apprehension.
Lane's sister Sadie spoke after the sentencing, remembering back to that day at Chardon High School when gunshots rang out and kids ran for cover. She was one of them, hiding, not yet knowing.
Sitting in that room in shock as we all comforted one another, I heard a police officer outside of the window say that they suspected TJ Lane. When those words hit me, I shook and cried and denied that all this could be true.
6 people were shot, 3 killed, and the city of Chardon has never been the same.
However, what followed during the trial only deepened the horror. Displaying a chilling lack of remorse, Lane refused to cooperate with his defense attorneys. In court, he wore a t-shirt emblazoned with the word killer and even made obscene gestures toward the victims' families. During the sentencing hearing, he delivered a shocking statement. "This hand that pulled the trigger that killed your sons now masturbates to the memory, causing outrage and disgust, not only among the families of the victims, but also across the entire nation." Judge David Fury, presiding over the case, described Lane's behavior as heinous, unprovoked, and senseless.
As soon as TJ Lane walked in, he was executing his plan, taking off his button-down shirt to reveal this. A white t-shirt with the word killer scribbled on it, showing it off with a smug smile on his face. He wore one like it the day of the shootings. Parents of the victims called Lane a monster, a pathetic excuse for a human being, and wished him a slow, torturous death.
I hate you for the pain you've caused, Nick. You chased him down the hall and fired the last bullet that paralyzed him. Why? Why did you do it? Why?
Throughout their statements, Lane just smiled, and at one point even raised his middle finger to victims' families. And his statement to the court, just too vulgar to say.
Well, it was a very difficult statement to hear and to see its effect on the families. I mean, I don't think anyone could say anything different.
You will never, ever be in my thoughts after this. Never. My family will move on, not you.
Judge Fury sentenced Lane to 3 life sentences in prison without the possibility of parole. Lane, however, remained stoic and emotionless, exhibiting no sign of remorse or regret. His demeanor and actions during the trial led many to liken him to a psychopath. Next, we have a case of 25-year-old Taylor. In Green Bay, Wisconsin, 25-year-old Taylor Schabusiness faced a hearing after being charged with first-degree intentional homicide, mutilating a corpse, and third-degree sexual assault. According to police reports, a year earlier, Schabusiness had been smoking meth with her lover, 24-year-old Shad Therian. During an intimate encounter, Schabusiness allegedly snapped, strangling Shad to death with a chain. She then reportedly sexually abused and dismembered his body in the basement of Shad's mother's house. Shad's mother discovered the gruesome scene, finding her son's head in a bucket when she awoke and went downstairs.
County Public Safety, how may I help you?
Yes, I'd like an officer at 829 Stony Brook. My friend just woke me up and swears that she found her severed head of her son in a basement.
Okay, can you repeat the address, sir?
829 Stony Brook.
Okay, T-O-N-E-Y?
Is it EY, right? Yes. No E. Just L-Y.
Is that a house, apartment, or duplex?
It's a house.
Phone number?
My number is 327-3748. My name is Steve.
327-3748?
Yes.
What's your last name, Steve?
Hendricks.
Okay, tell me what's happening there again?
I have no clue what's happening with my girl. Swears that she's found her severed head of her son in the basement.
Did you go down there?
In a bucket. I went down, I can't tell what the bucket. Part of my language, I'm kind of a little freaked out.
Okay, did she just wake up and say that?
Yeah.
And whose head is it?
She's claiming it's her son.
How old is her son?
24, 25.
Is he missing or?
No, yeah, he was here yesterday with some chick, and then all of a sudden nobody's here. And she came up to use the restroom a couple times, and she keeps calling and calling, and now she's saying that she hears the phone down there too.
Okay. Is she with you right now?
Yes, she's upstairs. She's a little freaked out, and I don't know what to do.
Okay. All right. Get in line. And you said you went down there, correct?
Yeah, and I lifted his hole, but I can't see very well, and I can't tell what the hell it is.
So there's something in the bucket.
There's something in the goddamn bucket. If she won't look again, I don't know what the hell.
Do you think she's hallucinating, or do you think that?
I don't think so. I went down and there's something in the damn bucket. I don't know, man. She's a little freaked out and kind of freaking me out.
What's your girlfriend's last name?
Packing.
Well, he left with her. They both came back. I believe they both came back while he was sleeping Monday night. And I assume they slept all day yesterday, so I haven't seen him since Monday night physically. I thought they were sleeping all day. I was gone for a little while. Tuesday, and he's 25, and I'm on a basement. What are you doing? You know what I mean?
Well, we've got help.
And then I heard my door, and her minivan start, and I went downstairs, and I went to the bathroom. The lights were out in the basement. So I turned them off, and I looked around, and I was there. So then when I turned around to come back upstairs, there was a 5-gallon bucket with a towel over it. And I'm like, oh great, that's why they're down here all day yesterday. They were pissing in a bucket. And I looked, and that's not what was in that bucket.
What is your son's name?
Schabusiness.
C-H-A-B.
S-H-A-B.
How do you spell his last name?
T-H-Y-R-I-O-N.
What's his date of birth?
9797.
Is there blood down there?
No.
All right, ma'am. I have officers that are headed over to your house right now, okay?
Head over.
Okay, I'll go down there.
Schabusiness had fled, but was later found by police at her home with what appeared to be Shad's blood on her clothes. Schabusiness pleaded not guilty by reason of mental defect and appeared at a competency hearing alongside her attorney, Quinn Jolly. Jolly requested a delay for further evaluation of Schabusiness's mental state, which Judge Thomas Walsh granted. This decision unexpectedly provoked a violent reaction from Schabusiness. Schabusiness lunged at Jolly, swinging wildly. A deputy quickly intervened, wrestling Schabusiness to the ground while calling for backup. Despite their efforts, Schabusiness continued to resist, kicking and struggling. The courtroom was cleared as deputies subdued and escorted her to a holding cell. After a short recess, the hearing reconvened. Jolly, unharmed from the attack, requested to withdraw from the case.
Stop it. Rachel, call. Is they bringing 7 in? Or, yeah, let's just go to 7. Billy, can you walk?
They need a code 3 and branch 223 is on his way. Wrestling with Schabusiness.
You went off on your attorney, Taylor. You went crazy on your attorney.
You can't do that.
You okay?
Yeah.
Okay, can you get your shoes on? Have a seat.
at this point, I'm going to put a motion in to withdraw from this matter.
2 weeks later, at another hearing where Schabusiness was closely guarded by 2 deputies, the judge granted Jalil's motion, and a new attorney from the State Public Defender's Office was assigned to her. Schabusiness was not charged for the courtroom assault on Jalil. Subsequently, Schabusiness underwent a psychiatric evaluation and was found competent to stand trial. This determination allowed the legal proceedings to move forward, with Schabusiness facing serious charges stemming from the horrific events in Shad Therian's basement.
State of Wisconsin versus Taylor Schabusiness.
And Schabusiness was assigned a new attorney from the State Public Defender's Office. She was not charged for the attack on Jalil. Schabusiness was evaluated and a few weeks later found competent to stand trial.
Next, we have a case of Shonnell Jackson in Milwaukee County Courthouse. 18-year-old Shonnell Jackson faced charges of murder. The incident unfolded when Jackson and a friend, both intent on robbery, encountered Nathan Potter, a 21-year-old University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee student who was heading to his apartment. When the duo demanded money from Potter, they discovered he had none. In response, Jackson fatally shot Potter. After the murder, Jackson fled to Mississippi, but his freedom was short-lived. The court proceedings revealed not only the gravity of Jackson's crime, but also his disturbing behavior.
Demonstrated to be not of caring of human life and the need to protect the community, which I also fear for with Mr. Jackson being out in the community.
The judge, however, was unswayed by Jackson's apology. Emphasizing the need to protect the community, he handed down a life sentence without the possibility of parole. The verdict triggered an explosive reaction from Jackson. Unable to contain his emotions, he became aggressive, necessitating intervention from deputies. In the ensuing chaos, Jackson pushed over a police officer, who then managed to wrestle him to the ground and deploy pepper spray to subdue him. The courtroom erupted in tension, and a family member of Jackson hurled a shocking remark towards the Potter family, further inflaming the situation. Eventually, Jackson was let out of the courtroom, destined to spend the rest of his life behind bars.
I am going to go ahead on count 1, the first-degree intentional homicide conviction, and I am going to sentence Mr. Jackson to life imprisonment without possibility for extended supervision. I know that that is something that is reserved for the most serious of cases, and I believe that this case rises to that level.
Jackson's friend and accomplice, who acted as the lookout during the crime, pleaded guilty and received a 12-year sentence. Despite the despicable behavior of some of Jackson's family members in court, his uncle stood firm, maintaining his stance and cooperation with the police despite facing threats. That's all for this video. We hope you found this video informative and interesting. What do you think about these extraordinary courtroom scenes? Let us know in the comments section. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that bell icon for more interesting videos like this. Thank you for watching our video.